Hoop door hangers are a fun and easy craft. They're pretty cost effective too, and they just turn out gorgeous. You can customize them like I did these two to fit any decor and make them super trendy. Hi, my name is Chris and I am the owner of Daily Dose of DIY, and today's video I'm going to show you step by step how to make a hoop hanger just like this one right here. And I also have some free SVGs for you, a set of 5 that you can use to customize and make your own hoop door hangers too. Let's head on over to my supply table and I'll show you all the supplies you need to make your very own. So the first thing we're going to need is some heat transfer vinyl. I will direct link this to you down below. I found this animal print on Amazon and it's gorgeous. So I will give you that direct link. It comes with several different colors in the pack also. Next, you're going to need a hoop. I'm using a 12-inch hoop I found at Hobby Lobby in the embroidery section. And you're going to need some materials. While I was at Hobby Lobby, I also grabbed some there, and they had a lot of wonderful Christmas plaids to choose from. Next, you're going to want your Cricut Easy Press and a heat press pad. And I am using a Cricut maker to cut my vinyl on today. So you'll also need a cutting machine. And finally, some ribbon and a hot glue gun and embellishments, which again, you can find a lot of Christmas embellishments right now at Hobby Lobby or your favorite craft store. Next, we are going to get the SVG files. You will find the link to the free SVG files also down in the description. Click Get Your Free Christmas SVGs on that page, and then you just fill out your first name, your email address, and then click Send My Free Christmas SVGs, and they'll go straight to your inbox. So once you get your email, you want to go ahead and download those SVG files, and then we're going to upload them to Design Space. If you need help with that process, I will give you a link in the description down below that will show you how you can upload and download SVG files. For now, I already have one that I'm going to use from the file that you get for free, and it's the trio of Christmas trees. I'm going to show you how to make this one. So we're going to insert it into Design Space. And I'm going to cut it just like you see it. My 2 side trees are going to be one color, or I'm going to use the pattern for that. And the tree in the center is going to be a different color. So I'm going to leave that how it is and just move it over to the side real quick. I want to show you a way, like if you want to add to the design or design your own. I'm going to make a circle, and up here on the top you can see the top menu where it says size. I'm just going to change that to 12 for 12 inches, and that is the same size as our hoop. And then I'm going to come over to the top on the left and change the color to something just different so it's easier to see. Let's pick red. And then down here on the bottom, I'm going to just decrease our canvas size. You see there it was shown as 100%. I'm going to go down to 75% so I can see everything on one screen. And finally, my circle is covering up those trees and I don't want that to happen. So back to the top menu up here, we're going to click Arrange and then Send to Back. And that will send the circle to the back so we can see our trees. Now, to this, I want to add a Merry Christmas, and I want it to be different than what was in the SVG file. And it gives us a great opportunity to show you guys how to do this. So we can enter the text in our text box, Merry Christmas. And then I'm going to, with this selected, go to the top menu again, where over here where it says font, and I'm going to click System Fonts and choose one of my fonts I have in here. I also have a tutorial on that if you do not know how to, that is not the font I wanted. I thought that was the name of it. But if you do not know how to upload your own fonts to Cricut Design Space, I will link that down below for you also. Let me just scroll through here really quick. I did this earlier. Oh, it was this one I wanted, Sun-Kissed. So I'm going to cut out Merry Christmas in this font. And in case you missed it, again, that was called Sun-Kissed Beach is the name of that font. I believe I found it on Font Bundles. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. And the reason I wanted to show you this is we can curve it, which is what I'm going to do to follow the circle of our hoop. So up here on this little text line, we can click curve. And then if you go to the left, it will curve it that way. Or I'm going to curve it to the right and get it to follow more of our circle. Now, get that selected again. We can go up to the top of the circle and we can curve again to get the curve, those letters to touch all the way around the circle, and then it will follow the exact shape of our hoop once we get it in there. And of course, to get it perfect, you want to select your letters and then hold down the Shift key at the same time and then select the red circle. Go to the top menu, align, and then we are going to center. And that will center the Merry Christmas so that then when we curve it, we can make sure our curve follows that exact circle. We can see it needs to come out just a little bit. That looks pretty good. And then we can size it how we want it against these trees. I want it to go up a little bit more. Actually, looking at it, I don't kind of like it following that curve. With it being down here, it looks a little different. So I'm going to adjust my curve more in. You can just keep playing around with it until you're happy with the way it looks. And then we are going to go ahead with, once you're happy with the way it looks, you can delete this red circle behind us because we don't need it anymore. And then you want to select your wording again and be sure to come to the bottom of the layers menu down here and click attach so that it all goes together on the cut mat just like we see it. Then we can continue on. Click make it up at the top. Oh, I forgot one thing. Let's hit cancel. If you see your mats aren't quite right, you can hit cancel and go back. I want my trees, the two gray trees, to stay exactly how they are also. So to do that with this SVG, we need to go to the top menu and then first ungroup it. And then I'm going to select the gray tree on the left. And while I'm holding down the Shift key, I'm going to select the gray tree on the right. And then on the bottom menu down here, click the attach button again. And that will keep them the exact same distance apart as you see them when we click the make it button. Okay, since we are using HTV, we want to click mirror on each of our mats. HTV is heat transfer vinyl, and here you can see my trees. They now have that distance in between them, just like I want. Click the mirror, and then over here on the last mat, click the mirror, and then go back to the top and select mat number 1, so Cricut cuts that first, and then we can continue. If you're on an Explorer, go ahead and set your dial to HTV or iron-on vinyl. And if you're on a Maker, we're going to select, I'm starting with the black, so Everyday Iron-On from our list of materials. And then after we cut that, we can select the pattern vinyl for our pattern pieces. Okay, let's go get our mats ready and get this cut. Sometimes it's really hard to tell which side of the heat transfer vinyl goes up, so I like to grab my weeding tool and just poke the edge of a corner. And if I get vinyl that I can pull up off of that carrier sheet, then I know I'm on the vinyl side, and that side needs to go up on my cut mat. So I am going to go ahead and place this on my cut mat vinyl side up, and we're going to get this cut. After it's finished cutting, hit the unload mat button and be sure to flip it over and remove your mat from the vinyl. Load up the next color so it can cut, and then I am going to start weeding while my next color is cutting. It's really pretty easy. Just pull the extra off the carrier sheet and be sure to go back and get the centers of your letters too. Next, we're going to get ready to heat press. I cut my fabric sheets already. They are about 2 inches around each side, bigger than my 12-inch, so I cut about a 16 by 16 inch square. And the first thing we're going to need to do is get this warmed up. I have my heat press on already. We're just going to move it around and preheat our fabric, get all the wrinkles out and moisture out so we can go ahead and press on our vinyl. So now I have my hoop centered over the fabric, and I'm just going to take this pen and trace along the outside. You don't have to worry about it being erasable or showing up, because as long as you trace the outside, nobody will ever see it. But this will help us place our HTV right where we want it. After your circle is drawn, you can line up the edges of your circle while folding this in half. And then I'm going to press it again, and that will give me a crease right down the middle so I can center everything onto our hoop. And then you can take your HTV and fold it in half where the sticky sides aren't touching and make a small crease there. Now all we have to do is line up our creases, and we know it is centered. Now I am going to tack that down with my Easy Press. I'm also going to include in your free SVG file a time and temp sheet so that you'll know exactly how long you need to press your different HTV to different materials. Once it's cooled for a bit, we can remove that carrier sheet and get it out of the way. I'm going to center the Christmas trees just by placing the tree on that crease, and then I can line it up with the point of the tree. Be sure to use parchment paper or a Teflon sheet to tack down your next layer. And to tack it down, that means we just heat press it for a few seconds, let it cool, and then remove that carrier sheet so that we can heat press the next layer. And then on our final layer at the end, we will heat press it for the entire time and temperature that is needed. The leopard print is the final layer for this project, so I'm going to take my time and just make sure these trees line up well, and then cover it with my Teflon sheet once again, and this will be our final press. So I'm going to set that timer on my Easy Press. It will count down from 30 seconds, and then we'll let it cool and see how it turned out. Everything is looking pretty good, but we do need to flip it over and press the back for 15 seconds. So be sure to use your Teflon sheet or parchment paper again to protect your heating pad, and then press it from the back for the last 15 seconds. Next, we're going to place the hoop on. So to take it apart, we just need to unscrew this thing at the top and slide the inner piece of the hoop out. That inner piece will be the back. So I'm going to place our cloth on top of it, and we're going to line up the marks we made just to the outside of the hoop and make sure everything gets nice and smooth. and then you can press the outer ring on top of it. Then we're going to re-tighten it up to make it nice and snug, and then you can pull through any areas you need to pull through on the fabric to make it nice and smooth. Once everything is smoothed out, we're just going to grab our scissors and trim away right up next to the back of the hoop all the excess of fabric. And now we're ready to add our ribbon and embellishments. So first thing we're going to do is make a ribbon to hang our door hanger. And I'm just going to measure it out, eyeball it to see how long I need. And then we're going to wrap it around this little hoop thing. And then I'm just going to tie a bow so that we have a way to hang it on our door. And then I'm just going to add a dab of hot glue to glue that hanger on, and then add some more hot glue so I can glue a buffalo plaid bow to the outside. And I'm going to also glue down the edges of that ribbon so we can see our Merry Christmas, and then I just have to trim it up and we are done. Doesn't it look gorgeous? I love that animal print with the buffalo plaid, don't you? Now you know exactly how to make a wonderful hoop door hanger just like this one. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. Once again, my name is Chris with Daily Dose of DIY. Be sure to like and subscribe for more fun Cricut crafts and tutorials.